You're listening to The Money Hour with your host, Tina Mitchell, and co-host, Keelan Harvey on Alternative Talk AM 1150. Now, back to the show with local mortgage experts, Tina Mitchell and Keelan Harvey.
And you're listening to The Money Hour, 1150 AM KKNW, the Friday, June 12th virtual show. Because of COVID-19, our show is temporarily moved virtually, but you can listen to us on podcast or on air on Saturday at 3 p.m. with a rebroadcast on Sunday at 8 a.m. I am your host, Tina Mitchell.
And I'm your co-host, Keelan Harvey.
We are here to help you build a strong financial blueprint 1 week and one show at a time. If you're hearing our show at a different time or day, you are listening to a rebroadcast, but we're here to connect you with the guests that we have on the show. You can call 1-855-400-1150. Again, that's 1-855-400-1150 or online at themoneyhour.com. And now in studio, we have Lei Wang of Journey with Lei, motivation speaker and author. And we're going to be talking about tapping into your power of excitement to reach new heights of success. Okay, Lei, well, welcome again. Very happy to have you here.
Thank you for having me.
So many of our audience have heard your story. I know many people in the community have with all of the keynote speaking that you're doing, and definitely people that are regular listeners to the show on our previous shows when we have you. But many new audiences have not. So, Lei, do you mind briefly telling us again, how did you get into climbing? And did you grow up as an athletic person?
Actually, quite the opposite. I grew up a typical city girl in Beijing. Both my parents are engineers. And like most Chinese kids, all I did was study. So at the age of 8, I dreamed of becoming a writer, later a scientist, then a doctor, but never an athlete, and certainly not a mountaineer. Actually, when I was in school, I was barely able to pass PE test each year. In 2004, inspired by a documentary movie, Touching the Void, I got curious about mountaineering. I go from reading everything I can find about mountaineering to researching what it would actually take to climb a mountain. And not just any mountain, but Everest, the highest one in the world. As I conclude that an ordinary person can climb Everest, I got excited. So what do? Being a bit of a nerd, I make an Excel spreadsheet. I list all the skills I need to learn, the training trip I need to take, and I create a timeline. I got a plan. So that's how I get started on this journey.
I love that, Lei. We've had you come in and do your keynote for My Power Hour Lunch and Learn. And when you see we're not in the space or the time today, but see the images of her out in that mountain, it's gonna bring a tear to my eye, because it was just amazing how you actually bring people right in that moment and exactly what it actually looks like when you were there and all you can see is white snow, and you can't see anything but the snow. It actually was, it's pretty amazing. So again, Lei, just very happy to have you.
Thank you.
Sorry, guys, I was really confused at how I had no audio, and apparently my headphones are the most powerful Bluetooth on earth, because it literally just went onto my headphones without me knowing. So I'm sorry to take away from Lei here. But anyways, Lei, so can you share with us, some of these journeys and some of the things that you accomplished are absolutely incredible. Can you share with us just some of the challenges that you might have faced on your journey?
Yeah, challenges. Actually, it'll be quite a challenge to list all the challenges I faced. Every step was hard. So from the beginning, training from zero athletic foundations, financial challenges, making sacrifice in career development, giving up almost all social life outside training and climbing. So it actually takes more effort to get to the mountain than the actual climbing itself. That's why so many people had the same dream, but few made it to the starting line of the climb. And then when we get to the mountain, life is not any easier. The pains of altitude sickness, the fears of avalanche, the exhaustion from long days. And it is not just a few days. For example, Mount Everest, it takes 2 months to climb. Just think about it. sleeping on a pile of rock and ice for 2 months. And at altitude, your immune system is so weakened that almost everyone got sick at some point. A simple cold can develop into a fatal pulmonary edema or cerebral edema overnight. Then there's the psychological pressure. You worry that you are not strong enough. You worry that the avalanche could destroy the climbing route. The trip may end prematurely, or the weather never cooperates, and you don't even get a chance to attempt the summit. On almost every team, about 1/3 climbers quit halfway into the expedition. So that's just a glimpse of what we face in just a few minutes. Yeah.
And, it's interesting listening to you, because anybody that's listening can take this, even though you're probably not going to climb, or maybe you're not going to climb Mount Everest. You can, because we all can. It's just imagining being able to get through the challenges. But in your own individual businesses and what you're doing and what's happening in the economy or challenges that come up, what Lei mentioned here, which is I just love that she's going through all of that and the pain and the challenges and things to overcome, knowing that it could all be for nothing, because something could happen that could take it away. Now, that's the same thing in our business, to where she doesn't even have the chance to make that climb. Same thing can happen in our businesses, but there's always another time, and everything that you go through, even at the end, something out of your control has made it not possible. It's not possible right now, but everything that you gained and the strength through that process is going to help it make it easier when you go back the second time. So Lei, how did you motivate yourself to persevere through those hardships?
I would say the powers of excitement. The excitement I'm talking about is not just the simple excitement about the climbing itself. It's not just about attempting an impossible goal. For me, I started this journey because I believed that an ordinary person can climb Everest and achieve extraordinary goals. I was on the mountain not only for my own dream, but also for those ordinary people who believe that because they hadn't achieved anything outstanding yet, they never would. I was excited about showing everyone what's possible for them. So these powers of excitement gave me the courage to keep moving forward, despite all the pain and the fear. These powers of excitement motivated me to focus on making my best effort, one step at a time.
Lei, I can't think of anything more exciting than climbing Mount Everest. And I think in all of our lives, we have our own little Mount Everest, right? Just these little hurdles in life that to some people seem insurmountable. And what you've accomplished and sharing that with people so everybody can conquer their dreams and things that seem impossible, I think it's so incredible. I know you have your coach and you're a motivational speaker, and there's many powerful messages that you could give to your customers. But if you had to give one ultimate lesson to people in general, what lesson would you provide them that they can learn from your journey?
I bet you can guess. The powers of excitement. I believe excitement is not just a force that took me to the mountaintops, but also what drives each one of us to do our best. Everyone had a mountain in our life to climb, many just as hard as Mount Everest. And when you can tap into that power of excitement, you will have the power to endure even the most outstanding hardships. You will turn obstacles to opportunities for growth, and you will accomplish those seemingly impossible goals.
So Lei, I love how you say one step at a time. And, Keelan said we all have our own Mount Everest to climb, and we do. Everything is a reaching for something big, but it's taking that one step at a time. So Lei, what kind of people do you work with through your coaching business?
I love to coach leaders, high achievers, people with big dreams. So if you're a leader, you made it to the top, you want to know how to lead your team to the next level, I would be excited to coach you. If you're a high achiever, you want to make a meaningful impact in this world, I would be excited to coach you. If you have big dreams, you want to achieve something great in your life, I would be excited to coach you.
I love how you're so
it.
excited in every aspect.
I am excited.
And how humble, like everybody, you think like Lei climbed Mount Everest, like it's almost unattainable, but you have something for everybody, which is just incredible.
Well,
so good for that.
And Keelan too. Keelan, that she hasn't mentioned today, but I have to do the shout out from her culture and what her parents and her elders expected of her was not to do this. And so that was a whole nother challenge, just the beginning process of being able to do something that nobody not only thought she could do, that it wasn't possible, but they absolutely did not want her to do it. So anyways, I wanted to throw that.
That's great. All the cards stacked against you and you did it anyway. So considering this crazy 2020 climate we're in, Lei, what's one piece of advice that you can give people to put that next step forward?
Well, look for the one thing that truly excites you. The key in life is to do what you truly excite about and get others excited too. Excitement is what got people to buy new products, entrepreneurs to innovate, artists to create. Identify the idea you want to share, the change you want to see, who you want to help, and what you want to grow. Do what excites you, get into the action. You will create excitement necessary to make a real difference. Your team will get excited and to get your customers excited too. Exciting others is what leaders do. It's how leaders influence, impact, and achieve extraordinary success. So look for one thing that truly excites you and get into action.
So true. Action by taking one small step at a time. If you want to connect with Lei, get more information, you can go to JourneyWithLei, LEI.com, JourneyWithLei.com. We have less than a minute here, Lei, but I would love for you to give a quick tip or advice to everybody that's in sales that might be listening to us today.
Well, the famous salesman Zig Ziglar said, sales is a transfer of emotion. So when you are truly and deeply excited about what you do, about your product, your service, you will get your customers excited. So tap into that power of excitement. It's a key to any sales.
I love
Lei,
it.
thank you again for being here.
Thank you.
All right, coming up next on The Money Hour, the real market reaction to COVID-19 pandemic. We have Corey Brewer and Rob Gaska of Windermere Property Management, Lori Gill and Associates, right here on 1150 AM KKNW.